Welcome to the fourth video of PySpark series where we are going to solve top 50 questions of lead code using PySpark. So to get started, let's see which question we are going to solve from lead code. So as you can see on the screen, I have already opened the lead code question that we are going to pick today. The question name is article views 1. We have a table named as views and we have column like article ID, author ID, viewer ID and view date. And we have to write a solution to find all the authors that viewed at least one of their own articles. It means if the author ID and viewer ID is same, then we are going to return that only. Okay, so in order to start, let's go into the VS Code and start coding. Right, so we are now into our VS Code and we can see over here we have already added the question that we are going to solve. To solve this question, we are required to have the data, and the data is the table that we have seen in the lead code. And I have added that table into fourth.csv. As you can see over here, we have article ID, author ID, viewer ID, view date as column, and we have all the values of these columns as well. So to get started, we'll have to import the data in our PySpark. To import the data, we'll just use spark.read.csv and we'll pass the file name. In this case, the file name is fourth.csv and we'll also pass header equals to true, and we'll also infer the schema using this infer schema equals to true, and we'll just store it into a data frame variable and we'll just name it as fourth df. So let's just execute it and let's see whether the data is getting loaded or not. To check whether the data is loaded or not, we'll just print the data or print the data frame that we are having over here like this. So as you can see over here, the data is correctly loaded and we have to find the data or the rows whose author ID is equals to viewer ID. So what we can do over here is we can just apply a filter method of the PySpark and we can see what condition we'll have to write. So let's just try to apply the filter method on this data frame, and the condition will be we have to just compare these two values like the column author ID and viewer ID. If these two columns are equal or the values of these two columns are equal, then we have to just return that row. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just write column and author ID equals to column viewer ID, and we'll just try to print it and see what output that we are going to get. So let's just try to execute it. So now we can see we got three rows, and the article ID that we are getting over here is 2 and 3, but there are two count of 3. So what we'll have to do is we just have to return only single value, like this is the article ID and we have to return only non-duplicated value. Okay, so there should be only two rows, 2 and 3. So what we can do is we can just apply a group by on article ID, and we'll have to sort it into the ascending order as per the question that we have over here. You can see over here we have to return the result table sorted by ID in ascending order. So again on the same filter, what we can do is we'll have to store it first into some other data frame or the same data frame. I'll just try to store into the same data frame. It will just override it. Okay, so I'll execute it again, and now I'll apply groupBy and the column name. So this time the column name will be ID, as we just have to have the article ID, the unique article ID. So I'll just write article ID inside this, and let's just count it as well. So let's see what we are going to get over here. So you can see over here we got two rows now, and the article ID returned is 3 and 2. And you can also see over here like the count of 3 article ID is 2 and the count of 2 article ID is 1. But we have to also arrange it into the ascending order. So again what we can do over here is we can just add one method called as descending, not the descending but the ascending one, asc and show. So let's just try to see what we are getting now. Okay, it is returning some error. So what we can see over here is it is saying data frame has no attribute ascending. So what we'll just do is we'll just write descending and let's see what we're getting over here. Why it is saying it doesn't have any again. Okay, so we are doing something wrong. So what we can do over here is instead of writing these things we can just use aggregation method, ag, and inside this we'll just write count and column name again as article ID, and we'll just name it, and what should we write, column count. And again what we can do is we can just try to see what we're getting over here. Let's try to see it over here. Right, so we have to return article ID in ascending order. So in order to do that what we can do is we can just try to select article ID and we'll have to sort it based on article ID in ascending order. So let's try to do it. So first of all we'll just select the article ID, so we can use select as we were using in first, second and third video. So we'll just pass article ID over here and let's see what is the output of this solution. So now we can see we are getting only article ID column, but it is in descending order, or we have to arrange it into the ascending order. So what we can do is we can use the sort method and we can try sorting it into the ascending order. So let's just try to have sort method as well, dot sort, and we'll have to pass the column over here. So column and article ID, and let's try to execute it and see what is the output of this one. So yeah, you can see over here we are getting the exact required output that was asked in the lead code question. So the article ID is returned and the value is also in the ascending order. So by this solution we can say it is working fine and the required output is achieved. Thanks for watching this video, and if you have any doubt or queries you can just comment. I'll try to answer all the queries that you are having over there. Thank you.